Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with No BS Golf, presented by P45 Knuckle Down Golf. That's right here, Central Georgia, your absolute perfect destination for everything golf. You don't have to go to Atlanta. You don't have to go to the coast. Part of today is going to be about this. We have the absolute best situation set up for real, sustainable, lasting golf improvement. And we're not talking about a couple strokes. We can go 10, 20, 30 strokes if that's what it takes and that's what you want. We've got the facility, we've got the tools, we've got everything necessary that you would have to go all the way to Atlanta to find, or to the coast. Like I said, no need. We got it right here. www.thegolfpub.com, www.p45knuckledowngolf.com. It's all there. Go find out. And now's the time to get started. It's winter, sort of. Winter for Georgia anyways, and we have all the time we need to get ready for spring of 2025. These months were the best months of the year every year that I spent at Golf Tech. Not only was I helping my players understand what we're about to talk about today, but we were then developing the plan to get there. Actually get there, not hope to get there. And the important part was they were working on things that we know by fact will get them to where they need to be. However, it took time and it took effort. And that's one of the big things that is important into understanding realistic expectations. I have encountered so much crap this weekend. It is just astonishing. It sucks and it's sad that we are in this state of the golf world still today. And so I want to go over a few things that are incredibly important. The reason I partnered with, for example, the pub, a facility that is available and designed to give students the environment that is important for developing their golf swing. So let's go all the way to where this all starts. Realistic expectations. We've got a massive problem in understanding the reality of a player's ability in this game because we don't assess it from a realistic standpoint. We don't assess it from a combined macro sense of real testing. Maybe we'll call it that. So let's just use a simple example. 10 handicap, okay? Quote unquote, 10 handicap, index 9.3, whatever, right? Index of 9.3, let's just say, in the GIN system. So what does that really mean? Well, here's the big picture. And any of us who know what we're doing for a living in this realm, here's what we know right away. When somebody comes to me and tells me they're 9.3, and I've encountered, I don't know, I've lost count, 30,000, 40,000 golfers now. I don't know. Immediately in my head, and especially depending upon the rest of the information that I get, I'm assuming that a 9.3 in reality is actually like a 14.7. That's right. You heard me. Well, you don't understand why? Well, here's the problem, okay? A 9.3 typically has established a 9.3 based off these parameters. Same weekly foursome or group of players, same daily group of players or foursome, same course, same shots, same hole, same conditions, over and over and over and over and over and over again, with zero variance in their playing, okay? And so what happens is, over time, to some degree, there is an improvement cycle that does kind of basically come together. And player says 9.3. And I say, well, no, here's the problem. No, you're not. And here's why. How many of those scores are tournament scores? How many of those scores are from other locations where you weren't playing with the same damn group of people on the same course, hitting the same shots, where you're not even thinking, actually making pure effort thought about the shots you're about to hit? How many times were those under conditions that aren't the best? Oh, it's raining today, Joe. I'm not going to play golf today. Okay. So a 9.3 is not a 9.3, first of all. Second, based off that, the second thing that comes into play, understanding the damn rules of golf and the realistic application of the rules of golf. Okay. We are having massive issues with this all across the board. And I'm talking about PGA professionals applying situations with players where they are competing, let's say, and not even remotely coming close to providing the proper level of understanding, ability to assess the situations and apply the rules of golf the way they're meant to be done. Yeah, it's true. I have encountered so many situations in just the last week alone where it is ridiculous. It is off the charts stupid how bad it is. And so because of that, the 9.3 has already been deflated, whatever you want to call it, has been adjusted downward incorrectly for if a player had to play by the rules of golf, the way that it's intended to be done, or if we were playing truly in USGA conducted tournament conditions, competition, playing the game, which we all love to talk about, but we don't like to actually apply it that way. Social, hear me out on this. Social, even your little point games, your $20 and $50 point games, okay? It's the same group of people. It's the same course over and over again. And even though there's a handful of players in those groups, most of them are not actually doing everything and going about it to where you're mixing it up enough to understand what your true capabilities are, your actual true realistic outputs and things. And most of that comes down to the math. That comes to the other side of the coin. If you're wanting to know why you shouldn't be able to expect it, that's a different thing. That's where the evaluation lesson comes to play. That's where breaking it down, making a proper assessment of your abilities, and then determining how it should match your abilities, which is really the final straw to this whole thing. And I'll try not to make it too long. But I want to make it clear. Realistic expectations are so incredibly important to this game, especially for beginners, juniors, and people who are getting to a point where they're wanting to try to proceed and somehow advance themselves in this game to where they feel like they're getting better, okay? The first part is you have to understand the realistic situation you're playing in. For example, and y'all got like this, and I don't care if you're only hitting a driver 150 yards, you should not be playing any further than 200 yards out from the damn green. Now, how do we determine that? You have to get on an actual machine and get a plot dispersion to know what your actual average drive is. Don't tell me you're 265, which is a load of absolute garbage for most people, because you hit it once that time when you were 30 downhill, down a mountain, downwind. Blow it out, you know what? That's BS. Get in it. Realistic assessment. Let's say you're hitting it 200. Fine. Let's play maximum of 300 yards then. Maybe 350, but that's about it. Like, we're not putting you in a situation where we can actually test and see how you can score playing the game of golf. You're going to end up putting yourself in a situation where you have to hit extra shots. And that is not because of your ability. It's because the damn game is hard. And so you're not being able to assess your true ability. Why are handicaps so huge for the vast majority of players? They're playing from distances that make absolutely no sense whatsoever. Zero. It doesn't match the ability of the player, and it's ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of hearing these stories over and over again. Now, where I'm absolutely the most sick and tired of hearing this crap is with juniors. We are absolutely doing, still today, the most ridiculous crap when we are supposed to be growing. I love people using this to grow in the game. Stick it right up your pipe because it's crap. Another junior golf situation. This one has layers to it. Players that are fairly new and young for sure, fairly newish at least for sure. Now there's a handful that aren't, and that's because they're more advanced at this stage. However, they come to tournament day because, we had to set it up way in advance. Yeah. I understand that part. Scheduling sucks. That doesn't mean that we can't be more realistic about this whole damn thing, okay? They're playing in sloppy, wet conditions with, fairly heavy, steady rains coming down throughout the process. There is no preparation by the tournament in any way, shape, or form to prepare these players and kids and parents for this event that they're about to put them out there on. There is no proper education at the first tee as to how the day should go, how to play, what kind of adjustments to make based off the conditions, understanding what just simple things like standing water, for crying out loud, like understanding embedded ball, understanding that you're playing in a situation where I don't care who you are, tour professionals going across the ocean to Europe to play in the British Open when they get super windy, wet conditions. And what happens to the great players? They blow the hell up. They shoot in the 80s and crap sometimes. Who has been told specifically? I want to know. Go to the comments. I want to know if somebody actually has been told. By the way, when you play in conditions like that you're not used to and you're not prepared for, you don't have a tour rain suit. You don't have 2-3 umbrellas and 9 towels and the special gloves and the special pants and the special shoes and the special socks and all the things that help you make it through that day. Let's assume you have those things. You're not used to it. You haven't done it enough. Have you been told that you were specifically supposed to shoot like 6, 7, 8, 9 strokes probably higher than normal? I'm waiting. I don't know. If somebody's out there saying yes, I want to hear from you right now. I want you to comment something and let me know because it's crap. And I know it's crap because I keep seeing this and I've seen it for 25 damn years and I'm sick and tired of this crap. Not only were these players playing from ridiculous conditions, but they're making them go out there and play from 350 and 400 damn yards. And most of these players can't hit it 150 max. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Now, you want to tell me, okay, so there's this kid and this kid, blah, blah. I get it. There's 2 or 3 out there that have accomplished enough in their games at this stage. They can handle it just fine. But when the majority of your players can't do that, you are doing it wrong. It's crap, and it needs to be changed. Operation 36 is doing the right things. And we've got a twisted mentality going on in the golf world, and it has got to change at some point because the whole point of what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people in, excited, having fun, playing the game at a level they want to play it at. But we have to be realistic about it, and then we got to go about putting them into position. I love doing this, and I enjoyed this yesterday, but I had to undo a ton of crap with a young player in order to put him back in position again. And granted, that's okay. I signed up for that. I'm ready for that. It took hours of hard work and communication and carefully choosing how I was saying things and trying to get the message across to this young man to get him back on track. He was deflated. He was put into a terrible situation. Wasn't his fault. Wasn't parents' fault. Just was what it is. I had to undo a ton of that crap, reset the stage, put him back in the proper position, and it took a while, but by the end, we were rocking and rolling. And I had a confident young fella in front of me hitting some good shots, thinking properly, focused, doing the things you're supposed to do, and all in situations he'd never faced before. I was giving him different spots and challenges and all kinds of things. It took a while. It took way too long to build him back up because he's going out and facing situations that are beyond ridiculous for him right now, unfortunately. It is what it is. We're fixing that, though. That's the important thing. So realistic expectation combined with putting players in the position they need to be in order to advance and get better and enjoy and perform. And that's the whole damn thing. If you're not having fun, why in the hell are we doing this? Tournament directors, PGA professionals at golf courses. If they're not having fun, why the hell are we doing this? That's my question for you. I dare you to come answer me because I know you're not going to. So it's unfortunate and it's a little ranty today, and I'm sorry about that, but it just is what it is. I'm tired of people being out there with bad information. And that's the big picture more than anything, folks. If there's one thing I can tell you that we're doing different at P45 every day, I'm giving players information they have never heard of in their entire lives. We're talking not just golf swing, but development, proper methods, proper processes, the facility necessary to do it right. Pub, my partners, the reason I'm there first with my players before we go outside and connect the dots. We're talking about understanding the game, understanding expectations, building plans and plotting specifically with realistic goals in mind and how to achieve them and get to them, and then move on as you go in a process that makes sense, that guarantees results. How do I know that? This goes back to go back and watch my clip, the story of P45. I went through all this crap myself. What got me into this whole thing was I got sick and tired of the crap the lessons I was taking, the Golf Channel, the magazine, and all the information I was soaking up, and none of it was correct. It was a lot more than you can imagine BS, period, the end. And so I set out on my own to fix it all for myself. Now it's turned into fixing it for others, 25 years later. But I want to impress upon people, you've got to come up and you've got to at least do a demo lesson or something with me. The evaluation lesson is still the most important thing. But until you put your head through the door and come in, you're never going to understand any of the stuff I'm talking about, even though I'm talking about it passionately right now. I need people in front of me in a bay where I can get everything set up so I can give you a realistic understanding. And that's the first step. And we don't have near enough people that have experienced it yet to have a community expectation yet. You go to places where GolfTech's been thriving. Like I talked to my old boy Tom the other day up in Chicago at my old location, and he's still there. He's been there for 20 plus years at the exact same spot, teaching for GolfTech for 20 plus years. And he's one of the best in the business. There's things that Tom did back 20 years ago that I still use today as part of my basis for analyzing a swing. Simple lines of reference that he came up with on his own that I stole and took with me. And I still use them today because they're amazing. He is in a position and a place where people understand what's going on. And the ones that finally want to step up to the plate and do something and actually earn their way, they're going and seeing Tom. And so that's the same thing I had going in Kansas City when I transferred to open that franchise. I had a group of players that understood, and they wanted it, and that's what we did every week. We worked on it and worked on it and worked on it until we got it right. And that's what we're doing at the pub right now. You have the opportunity if you want it. If you want to understand and set realistic expectations and match it with the proper effort that's required, that's the other part of realistic expectations. Let's go there one more minute. So we're talking about index and what it really means, how it's inflated, deflated, whatever you would call it, the wrong way because of many reasons. The last part is this. There's a lot of people that don't turn in all their scores. A lot of people only play a few times here and there, and they're like, well, I'm a this index. And I'm like, well, you played what, 6 times? Yeah. That's way too small of a sample size. That's not an index. That's just a guess. Second, while it does exist, I'm not going to say it doesn't, although I always want to take that player and put them in a situation and see how they do when they're not in their comfort zone. Always remember that. Most of this crap's calculated based off a comfort zone. Most players without regular effort, we're not talking 20 hours a week, but regular effort can't gain or maintain a low scoring game of golf, even if they're at the right distances. It's just again, it's just too hard. There's too many things that pop up that inflate that take the score up. So if you're not putting in regular effort, which by far and away I've come to learn over the past 20 years for sure, is that most people are just not being realistic about what it takes to get better at golf. It takes regular, dedicated effort. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not being realistic. So there are so many different topics we could cover when it comes into realistic expectations, but we are just missing the boat by so much. It's ridiculous. We do not apply realistic expectations in so many different levels and facets of this game. And it is sad, especially that the PGA of America has not stepped in to correct a lot of this stuff, because they're the ones that are supposed to be stewarding this whole freaking thing. Yet I see another junior group of a tournament situation with young players that are fairly new, and they're being taken out there, and it is absolutely off the charts stupid how it's being run. Ridiculous. And this is a big name. I'm not going to go throwing names down, but this is a major backed tournament series. And it's absolutely disgusting. It's ridiculous what encountered here. So had to get that out. Moving on. Let's go down the important thing. It is the time of the year where you can make that decision. You can dedicate yourself to your game. I got everything you need. It's not very hard on my end. It's hard on your end. I provide. You have to take that information and go do something with it. And the most important thing is proper, focused, good effort on a regular basis. If you can do that, 20 minutes a day here and there, maybe an hour here and there. Most importantly, we've got the environment that the easy way to describe it is we take the distractions away. And when you take distraction away, learning increases by tenfold. So while we can't clean it up overnight, we can at least take you from being, wherever you are today and achieving that goal that you really want someday in a much shorter period of time than it used to be. It used to be, 5 and 10 and 15 years. Go look at the schedule of I got the study out there, and I use like the 14 to 16-year-old example. By the time a player achieves tour pro level someday, at the age of 14 and 16, they're hitting 2,500 shots a week, basically. Now it counts putts and chips, yes, but 2,500. Okay, and then it details all which of them are 9 holes, which is 18 hole, and what's a practice versus what's a tournament round, and how many times are they doing this? And they detail it. The point is, a lot of effort. Period. The end. If you can't put in effort, then you got to stop. Then you need to stop with the expectation crap. Because if you're not putting in effort, you can't be expecting some amazing results. It's just not realistic. Okay. So I help players figure all that out, and I help them design a system that works for them. It's customized for each player based off what they're capable of doing. It's that simple. If someone comes in, they're like, best I can do is every 2 weeks. Hey, we're going to do it then. It's just going to take a lot longer to get there. That's all there is to it. Best case scenario. Try to wrap this up now. 1 full swing lesson in the beginning, 1 full swing lesson the Monday, Thursday short game lesson outside, Sunday playing lesson. We do that for about the first 3 months solid minimum, okay? By the time we've gotten through that, and if you've put in the effort in between to develop and get better at everything, we're pretty much finally shifting to phase 2 at that point. But that's 3 solid months, okay? Do the math. 3 lessons per week, 4 weeks, 3 months, okay? Then we're moving into phase 2 where it's less development, way more just solid application, which is really just sharpening things that we've accomplished. And you're finally getting to the point of really playing better golf already anyways. And so now we're talking through situations and understanding and choices and course management and the things we want to talk about in golf. How do we increase spin? How do we take the trajectory and change it? How do we do all these different things? Well, until you get there, we can't talk about that stuff. You got to get the skill levels built up in order to achieve that first. Then we can start working on it. So there's nothing that you can't accomplish if you really want to achieve it and want to work towards it, folks. And I don't care. Now, okay, there are limitations. I'm 65 and my hip's broken. And okay, yeah, well, you're never going to hit at 360. That's for sure. But who cares? If you don't need to, what does it matter? You can still get better at golf, however. And if you can't hit it past 150, stop playing from the senior tees. That's the stupidest place for you to be playing from. It doesn't make any sense. It's still too far. It doesn't match your goal, your abilities. It's dumb. Period. The end. So, anyway, as long as we're following the things correctly and scaling it up and down, then there's lots of ways you can improve, even if you're 65 and broken hip and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, rant over for today. Everybody, Christmas sales going on. And right now is the time to act. You can get ridiculous pricing. You can load up and get ready for this winter all the way into spring of 2025. And that's the key. April 1, we'll just say for now, whatever, May 1, whichever it is. We want to hit the ground running. We want to be ready, not just dusting off the old clubs and starting to pick it back up again. We got all winter. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care how rainy it is. I don't care if frost. I don't care if it's sunny, if it's cloudy, I don't care if squirrels are falling from the sky. It don't matter. We can go inside the golf club all day long. All day long, folks. That's why I chose them as a partner. They have the facility we need to get you. Oh, by the way, they got these awesome things called memberships, which means if you go in there 10 times a week, it starts costing you like literally nothing, like $5 a visit or something. I don't know, do the math, but whatever it would be. The membership divided by 10, divided by 20. All you just split it. It's like a golf course membership. If you go to a golf course 5 days a week and it only costs you this much, then do the math. Your rounds are nothing. It's a joke. As long as you get in there and use it, it's stupid inexpensive. So you got to get a membership. You got to have the details you need. We're trying to provide more tools at the pub as well to create a better learning environment. So stay tuned for more of that. But I've got the most important tool that's necessary right now, and that's all on an app. And it's something that my students learn and that they know how to use, and it's important to do it correctly, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to wrap it up for now. We'll go back into more of that stuff today, but I just want to get all that out because there's just a whole bunch of stuff that just got my blood boiling last night. And then anyways, we're doing it different, folks. You've got the most important golf option available to you to date. I've got 25 years experience. I got my 8 years at Golf Tech and all the years at private high-end country clubs. You know, I worked at Augusta National type golf clubs, and I worked at Kansas City Country Club. It is one of the top elite private clubs in the land, going all the way back to the beginning of golf being built in the United States of America. All the years that I have, everything that I put into is studying everything, doing the Jacobs 3D that I'm doing right now, and still need to learn more, but I'm working on it. All the different things from Golf Tech to Hack Motion to PGA, to all these things that I've done for years, all the different certifications. I'm walking in the door ready to go with you today. So let's do it. Let's get you evaluated, get you started, take advantage of the Christmas sale. Do all the things like, click, subscribe, share, blah, 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 comment. Give me everything you got at P45KDG, Twitter, P45 Knuckle Down Golf at Gmail, P45KnuckleDownGolf.com. More information there. You name it. Facebook, same thing. P45 Knuckle Down. I'm everywhere. Reach out. Let me know what you got. Answer those questions. Give me comments. Do everything you can. For all y'all doing it, my students, I love you guys. You're amazing. Keep it at it. I'll see you at the pub this whole week. We got a whole week of stuff lined up. more to come. I've got more with the 4D motion coming. We're going to have the at-home practice units available soon. So anyways, that's enough for now. Take care, folks. Ryan Carver, P45 Knuckle Down Golf. Take care.